Have you ever been like, let's just go for it, full out, like I'm not going to stop, or just go, or the other extreme, which is, nah, just go with the flow, see what happens. That's the power of Intention Monday today. We're going to be discussing this in growth without attachment. Intention Monday, Timeless Principles, version 22 of this amazing series. And we're going to look at this idea of growth without attachment. How we would tie this all back to our coaching business. Hey, it's Rishi Patel, founder of Selling in Alignment, where I work with coaches and consultants to reprice and package their services to discover and live their wider purpose in life. And today we're really talking about this powerful idea of growing without being attached to the outcome. What do I mean by that? We kick off by talking about our duty in business and really just understanding this idea of building with purpose. A couple of years back, I was talking to some friends, and I asked them what they really want from life. And some of them said, oh, they want to go on and do this amazing charity work, and some people wanted to contribute to the homeless, and some people wanted to contribute to orphanages, and they wanted to make all these amazing things in their life. And I asked them, right, what actions are we taking in the lead up to that? And they said, well, we don't really know where to start. And in all cases, everyone's contribution to that discussion was something bigger or better or greater than themselves. And one of the beautiful things that I realized about running a service-based business, which you may not necessarily get the same level of fulfillment of in perhaps a full-time job. And I say perhaps because, of course, there are going to be exceptions. But one of the beautiful things that we have in a service-led business is that we get to create an impact in the lives of the people that we're serving. Such a beautiful example here through Selling in Alignment, where I'm working with coaches and consultants to help them completely reprice and package their offering. They're showing up in the world as completely different beings. Now I'm getting recommendations from my clients on LinkedIn without even asking for them. I'm getting Google reviews for my martial arts school without even asking for them, and it's just been an amazing, amazing feeling. What I'm seeing is that in a service-based business, we get to have this idea of purpose. There is this opportunity to build something that's bigger and greater than just ourselves. And it has a core purpose behind it, something bigger, something greater, something that's even more evolved than ourselves. And isn't that beautiful? Just have that opportunity to inform in that way. And so when we do this, we really have a different level of power inside every single interaction. People show up and they think, you know what? Yeah, Rishi Patel, he's doing those Intention Mondays, he's on video, he's passionate, he's lit up. Why? And the answer to that is simple, because I'm connected to that greater purpose. In the martial arts school, I'm connected to this idea that these amazing beings that come through our doors are going to know their worth. At Selling in Alignment, I'm committed that these amazing coaches and consultants that come through our doors are going to charge their worth. And everyone that comes into my consciousness is going to understand their self-worth. And when they don't, I'm going to keep lifting them, and sometimes it's going to become painful, right? Around, hey, this is what you're all about in life. Now let's step out of that victim consciousness and step into something that's so much more powerful. We're going to have contribution to so many other people in and around ourselves, inspire and pass on this ripple of goodness. There's a power inside of that. And talking about ripples of goodnesses, I want to really talk about this idea of karma today. Now, we're going to look at a very basic, watered down definition of what karma is. I feel like it's a bit of a buzzword that's coming from the east to the west. It's a little bit misunderstood. I'm not going to clarify that today because that's an Intention Monday in itself. What I want to do is take this one definition of karma, which is what goes around comes around, okay? And the reason I want to use that definition is because it talks about around. And something else that's around in business is this idea of build, test, and then measure. So let's say now we're going to create a launch. We're going to reprice, repackage a product up here. So we're going to build something. Then we're going to take it out to the market. We're going to test to see the efficiency of that. Then we're going to measure how well did that do, right? Detach from the numbers, detach from the idea of like, I want it to be amazing. No, how well did that do? A practical answer to that, right? Which is unattached, unbiased. And then once we know that, we can then inform the build cycle again. So we can go back up here and we can say, okay, right, I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to rebuild something. I'm going to retest something. I'm going to remeasure something. And that cycle can just continue on. And that's the same cycle which what goes around comes around. So this idea of karma, which is what goes around comes around, where we do good things in the world, that comes back to us, is a huge testament to the way we can show up in business. Because now, because we have a service-based business, because we're so lucky to be able to lead in this space, the people that are coming into our consciousness, as long as we're doing a good job, we're being honest with what we have and the fact that we are really making an impact in lives, what goes around is eventually going to come around. And so there's a power there, and that relates back to this cycle of having a clear core purpose. That what we build, right, what we put our whole focus on, where we launch a new program and then recognize that we're gathering feedback and then we're offering like an opportunity. And regardless of short-term failure or success, it doesn't matter. We just stay unattached to this cycle. It's very much like this idea of what goes around comes around. They're both cyclical loops, and that's what I wanted to really just touch on today. The balance between really going with the flow and overexerting, just going all guns blazing, like really full out, just launching into something that's so much more profound and powerful than ourselves. And then this idea of, okay, well, you know what? I really get that. Okay, I'm going to balance this out, right? I'm going to really just get clarity around, and I'm not going to the other extreme. I'm not just going to lay back and just say, yeah, if it comes my way, I'll take it. If it doesn't, I won't. Not a big deal. And you know what? Like, we're not showing up in that way, no. Where we're showing up is with power. Where we're showing up is with extreme caring for the world. And look at the words that I've used, right? Extreme caring. Or something that Zig Ziglar says, which is be aggressively caring in your approach. Imagine the power of that, aggressively caring. Those two words, which could potentially be seen as opposites, but are combined together to create a perfect balance, the essence of all martial arts, which is balance. And there's such power inside of that type of an approach. And so the way we can achieve this balance of, I'm going to really go for it and just whatever happens, happens. How can we achieve that balance? The way in which we can achieve that balance is really by just taking a breath and understanding that our energy needs to be sustained for the long term. We basically need to have a bigger purpose which we're playing for. And this is one of my biggest weaknesses in the past, was I had a lack of pace, and that led me to a deep burnout. And that was an extreme burnout, extreme level of burnout that I experienced, and touching on to depression. And so where I came out of that, what I realized to myself is, no, okay, you know what? We need to be moving forward, and we need to be doing it in a manageable, slow, steady way. And it's incredible. It's incredible to be on the other side of that journey, because I've really gotten to see that we get to build something that's bigger, that's better, that's greater than ourselves for the long-term sustainability. And that's really where the power is. So there is a detachment, an idea of detachment, which we really want to hold at the core of all of this, because we can build something that has sustainable growth. We can stay focused on what our duty is, which is to serve through this service-based business. The clue is in the word. Imagine for a second, we're serving. And it's a service-based business. A coach or a consultant has a service-based business. They provide a service. And here's the core essence of this word, is that we get to serve. We show up in the world with the ultimate clue to the business, which is that we get to be servant leaders. There's a power in that when we recognize that, because when we stay focused on that service, then this growth comes and there is no attachment, because all we're really focused on is giving the service. And there's such power in that. And that's the time in which we can really achieve this beautiful flow. And that's when really what we're putting out in the world is just good. And so what comes back through that karmic loop is just good. And that's where the sustainability comes for growth. And that's the thing that I want to take into Intention Monday this week. That's the thing I want to take into this week from Intention Monday is just being detached from the actions that we're taking and focusing on the bigger picture. Let me know what you're taking away from Intention Monday. Until the next time, keep selling in alignment.